Hi guys, the purpose of this video is to walk you through the syllabus for our class. I have two English 111 sections this semester, and so I'm going to use this video for both of them. Depending on what section you're in, I will specify certain things over others. But if you are confused, please just download your syllabus found within the LMS and grab the direct information from there. I don't want to confuse anyone, but I also want to save a little bit of time. So, you are either this semester enrolled in English 111 OSI 3, which is a purely online course, or you are enrolled in English 111 SQB5, such weird acronyms, which is a 12-week course that starts in like September, and it's online, but it's synchronous on Wednesdays. So again, some things I will say that only apply to asynchronous courses, and other things will apply to both, and other things will apply only to synchronous. So I'm primarily, however, looking at the O online class. So if you are in my O class, we meet online, purely asynchronous. If you are in my purely online class, then I will never ask you to meet me at any specific time, either face-to-face or virtually. However, if you are in my English 111 SQB5 12-week short session course, that class is online. We will never meet in person, not even for the final exam. However, there are synchronous meeting times on Wednesdays from 11 to 12:15 p.m. You will find those in the LMS. The details are going to be really clear and specific. Regardless of what class you're in, this is 3 credit hours, and as long as you have a good placement score, DRE 098, you're in the course, and if you're watching this video, you're probably good to go. Both of my classes have 2 different census dates, so if you're in my 111 OSI 3 purely online class, you must verify your enrollment by the 27th by doing the mandatory enrollment activity. Alternatively, if you are in SQB5, you must verify your enrollment by September 23rd. Okay. So much information to tell you guys, it gets overwhelming. My email is the best, hands down, absolute best way to reach me. I will try to respond to your email within 24 hours. If you've had my class before, I hope you would report that I'm faster than that. Although I'm just very busy, and sometimes it takes me a full-on day to respond to your email, and I'm probably not going to check my email on the weekends. So while you might hear from me on the weekend, you probably won't hear from me until Monday. What does that mean? What's most important about that? Our assignments will always be due on Sundays, so if you have a question, you need to email me probably by Thursday if you need help. What that means is that you can't wait until Sunday to even look at the thing, because you're probably not going to get emails from me, or you're just going to stress me out. I don't know. You can call my office, but I'm not going to be in there. I might be in my office sometimes. You might be able to get a hold of me, but probably not. I'm supposed to check my office voicemail and call you back, like *67 or something, but I'm probably not going to do that either. So please email me. I'm just being straightforward with you guys. If you did need to come to my office, it's in the main building on the Statesville campus, 3rd floor, back in the maze. And I'm available for student support, aka office hours by appointment, and 100% virtually. If I can avoid it, I do not want to meet anyone face to face. I'm an introvert anyway, so it's a good excuse. Like, COVID is a good excuse, but you know, if you're like, I cannot understand this concept unless you tell it to my face, I'll do it. Just let me know. Otherwise, I will assume you mean virtual meetings. You can still see my face. Okay, I'm not going to tell you guys everything in this syllabus, because then this video would be an hour long. So I'm skipping some stuff. Recommendations for success: check your email every day. Keep your course schedule visible somewhere where you can see it. Log into the LMS every day, every couple of days. If you only log into the LMS on Sundays, you are going to bite yourself in you-know-where. Email me when you have questions, even if you just think it's a stupid question, even if you're not sure, if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know, should I send her this email, should I not? Look, I am not the teacher that's going to make you feel bad for asking a question. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for emailing me. I love talking to you. Yes, 2 + 2 is 4. But I mean that, like, I'm kind of joking, but also like, if you think you need to ask me a question, ask me the question. I love getting questions. Just be nice to me when you ask me those questions. Do your work. Use your computers. You need a computer for this class, regardless of what section you're in. You have to write papers. Okay, so textbooks. What do you need for the course? You need a Student's Guide to Writing, 3rd edition. I will reference relevant pages for your learning throughout the semester with this book. It's got a seagull on it. It has got a 3E. If you have the 2E, the 2nd edition, it's fine. It's just the MLA is wrong. So that's why the 3E is important. Now, with that being said, Norton, the publisher of this book, just released a bundle. The bundle is the textbook, The Little Seagull, with an APA, ooh, you can't see that, an APA supplement. And now the bookstore is selling these like saran wrapped together, and you can't just buy this one. You have to get them together. Okay, so why am I telling you this? If you can get access to this book cheaper without this guy, this little purple APA supplement, you only need this book. You do not need this supplement for English 111. You need it for English 112, but you don't need it for English 111. But if you had, like, I'm going on a tangent here, y'all, and I think it's going to be okay, but if you had this book already, and you're like, but wait, I'm going to take 112 with her next semester. Should I go ahead and buy this supplement or the package again? Then I have 2 of these and 1 of these. No, you can find all this information for free on the internet. All the stuff in the purple book for free on the internet. You really don't need it. It's just nice to have. Okay, let me just break that down real simplistically. If you have nothing, if you have no book for this class, buy the bundle. Buy it. Okay. If you already have the 3rd edition of The Little Seagull, but you don't have this purple thing, do not buy the bundle just for this purple thing. Please don't do that. If that doesn't make sense to you, please let me know, because I'll try to explain it. We also have access to a Student's Guide to Writing, the 3rd edition. If I reference it, when and if, I don't know, we'll see what happens. You will find a PDF copy for free already in the LMS. If you want to buy a printed version from the bookstore, you can, but the free version is already in our class, and I don't think you should go to the bookstore and buy the PDF unless you just absolutely need it. Okay? Unless you need it. Which is why I feel perfectly fine not referencing that book enough, because you have a free copy as a PDF online. So what that means is I may or may not reference it, and I don't know yet. But just to be clear, definitely, you need The Little Seagull. What else do you need? You need a computer. You need to be able to write a paper. So whatever you have on a computer to write a paper. I just had a panic of whether or not this was recording. And I'm still not sure that it is, but I'm gonna keep going. Okay. So learning environment depends on what class you're in. If you're in my O class, this is fully online. It's asynchronous. It's administered through the LMS. If you are in my SQB whatever class, then it's blended. It's virtual. It has Wednesday meetings. Regardless of which course you are in, here are the assignments that we're going to be doing. So activities are worth 20% of your grade. Activities are most of the time, the way I envision this class right now, quizzes and discussion forums. Usually there's just going to be 1 activity a week. There might be 2 if I think it's absolutely necessary, but they would be very simple if there were 2. The way I'm operating this class is as if you are writing one big, beautiful research paper, but you're chunking it out into different segments. So first you're going to write a subjective essay. Then I'm going to test you on MLA format and make sure that you know it before we before we submit graded assignments for it. I will ask you for a works cited page, basically a bibliography of sorts. I will ask you to evaluate a source. I will ask you to write an objective essay, and then we're going to start putting all of that together to build an argumentative essay. I want to see a thesis statement and an outline, a rough draft, and a final. And so it's really going to be kind of like, how do you build? I guess the goal for me in this class is meeting all the course objectives, but also how do you build an effective argumentative paper knowing that you are a subjective human with thoughts, and also knowing that no one's going to believe what you're saying if you don't have some kind of objective proof for it. So that's what we're doing. We're putting it together, and you're going to be able to write an argumentative essay. I'm doing something I've never done before, and I'm not limiting topics. I usually limit topics, but I'm deciding this semester I'm not limiting topics, so we'll talk more about that as the semester progresses. If you want to read any of these assignments, you can download, if you want to read a description of any of these assignments, you can download this syllabus and check it out. Some other things, all of your assignments will be due on Sundays by 11:59 p.m. Please submit them as doc or PDF files. I can't open Pages files, please don't submit those. Google Drive links and OneDrive files can be edited after the fact, so I really don't want you to submit those either. If you submit the wrong file, if you submit a corrupted file and that's not corrected by the final deadline of that assignment, then I'm just going to give you a 0 because I don't know what else to do. That could have been an opportunity for you to buy more time. And if you need to buy more time, refer to the late policy. Let's see what else. Please keep an electronic copy of everything that you do in this class. That even means discussion boards. Your power could go out in the middle of you typing up a discussion board and it ends up like not being saved or something. Let's see what else. Missed work. I don't know what missed work is. Missed work to me is the same as late work, and I don't really take late work. I'm guessing the difference is that late work is work you know you're going to be turning in late, whereas missed work is like you didn't know you had to turn it in at all. If you didn't know you had to turn something in, I guess that would be missed work. I don't take missed work. You should just know when things are due, and I feel like the way that I lay out the LMS, it makes it pretty clear. Also, do not email me at the end of the semester and say, please, can I do something to raise my grade? I have nothing for you. No. You can't do that. Just keep your grade raised throughout the semester. If you've been like working your butt off, that doesn't usually happen. It's usually the people that aren't working their butt off and they need help. So don't do that to me. It makes me really stressed out. Late work is handled on an as needed basis. If you need to turn something in late, you need to email me before the deadline. If this gets abused, I will change this policy in the middle of the semester and no one will turn late work in. So if you need it, ask for it, but don't use it as a crutch to be lazy. I'm like the biggest procrastinator, you guys. If you know me, you laughed. Turn everything in an MLA format. We already talked about that. Response times, I talked about emails, but regarding feedback, you'll usually have your assignments in about 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the length of the assignment. If we do have discussion boards, I'm not probably going to participate in the discussion board during its run. I will give you feedback after the discussion board has ended. I think I operate those discussion boards like class discussion, small groups. You guys are talking to each other. You're not really talking to me. I check in on it once in a while. I might pop in and say something, but don't rely on my response the week a discussion board is going on. Let's see what else do I want to tell you. So, attendance. Please wait out this whole explanation of attendance depending on which class you're in. If you are in my online class, actually this really applies for both. In any of my classes, you guys, actually, I'm just going to bundle you together. You have to do something once a week and you will get attendance credit, okay? So what does that mean, actually, Miss Osborne? If you do an activity, every week there will be activities. If you do one of those, you've got your attendance for the week. If you come to a synchronous session, if you're in my synchronous class, if you're in my online class, this doesn't apply to you. If you're in my synchronous class, SQB, whatever, then you can come to a synchronous class and you are counted as being present. If there's a discussion forum or a quiz, right, these are the activities. You do those once a week. That counts for attendance for that week. If you turn in a major assignment, that counts as attendance for the week. So if you turn in a paper at the end of the week, you're present. You don't have to do all of them. You have to pick one thing a week and make sure that you do it for attendance purposes. Now, there might be other things for grade purposes, but that's different. Also, if you email me and have a conference that week, that counts as attendance. So if we need to meet virtually outside of the LMS, that's attendance. If we meet face-to-face outside of the LMS, which I hope we don't have to do, but if we do, that counts as attendance for that week. Why does this matter? Because if you do not attend class for 2 consecutive weeks, 2 weeks in a row, I will drop you from the class. That's this new college policy. Everyone is doing it. It's pretty fancy. But that's the rule now. So I think it just helps students to avoid, getting too behind and then failing a course. That's the positive thing on that. Let's see, what else? I already talked about your no-show dates. You can withdraw if this class isn't working for you. You just have to do it before 75% of the course. You're like, well, when is that? Check the academic calendar. I don't know either. The only other thing I really want to talk about is plagiarism. So if you have, there's the obvious definition of plagiarism, copying and pasting someone else's work without giving credit, right? Yes, definitely. If you also turn in a paper that you got credit for a course previously. So like, what does that mean? Let's imagine that you took a similar class, or you already wrote an argumentative paper in high school, and you're done with high school, right? You graduated, so you got credit for high school. And you have this argumentative paper still on your computer, and you submit it for my assignment. That's not cool, because that's double dipping. That assignment already got you the opportunity to graduate from high school, but this isn't high school, and I don't want your high school papers, so you need to write something new. I recognize that it's your property. You already did write it, but the concept here is that you're furthering your education and your knowledge base, so you need to write something new and prove that the things I have taught you in this class, you are becoming an expert on, aka that paper you're going to write in my class is 10 times better than that paper that you wrote in high school or some other class, right? If you wrote an argumentative paper in your philosophy class or your world religions class or your history class or whatever, and you took that last semester here, you got credit for that paper already. You have to write me a new paper. Now, if you're in a situation where you didn't get credit for that class, then, like, let's say you wrote a paper and you tried English 111 last semester and you didn't pass and you didn't get credit for that class and you wrote a paper, you self-disclose that to me in an email and we can talk about it, okay? That's something we can discuss. But double dipping for credit, not cool with me. I'm like pointing at you and you can't see me, and it's really aggressive anyway, so I'm glad you can't see that. Regardless of which class you're in, you have a schedule at the bottom and you can check that out, or you can just look at the LMS. So that covers everything. I really am hoping that this has been recording the whole time and I haven't just been talking to dead air for 30 minutes. So if you have questions, please send me an email. And you can go ahead and close out of this video because it might take me a second to figure out why I can't pause this recording.